Moving on to our next story, South Africa's biggest city and economic powerhouse could plunge into darkness. Why? Over unpaid power debts. We are talking about over $400 million in debt. South Africa's state-owned power utility Eskom has issued a formal notice targeting the city of Johannesburg and its municipal distributor, City Power. Eskom has officially threatened to choke or entirely cut off the electricity supply to parts of Johannesburg.
As a result of continued failure to honor its electricity supply agreement with Eskom, including repeated defaults, Eskom has been forced to issue a notice of its intention to reduce, interrupt, or terminate the supply of electricity to certain bulk supply points.
It is a big showdown between the country's main power supplier and its richest metropolis. If the switches are flipped, South Africa's economic hub could be brought to a grinding halt. Now let's look at the debt breakdown. The total amount has been broken down into two massive chunks. First, there is an accumulated historical debt, or arrears, of roughly $315 million. On top of that, another $93 million is due by the 5th of June. Combined, it is a $408 million mountain of debt that Eskom says it can no longer afford to carry. Now, you might ask, are the people of Johannesburg just not paying for their electricity? Well, according to Eskom, that is not the problem. The utility has made a stinging accusation. They say the city of Johannesburg and City Power are actively collecting electricity money from local businesses and residents, but the breakdown is happening at the top. Eskom claims that the city is pocketing that revenue and failing to hand over Eskom's share. Pressure has mounted rapidly on the city's finances, drawing recent concern from the National Treasury. Now, back in 2024, Eskom threatened similar supply cuts over nearly $380 million in unpaid bills. At that time, the city fought back, accusing Eskom of overbilling. They accuse it of overbilling by over $200 million. Now, the dispute got so big that the electricity minister had to intervene. But this time, the city is striking a cooperative tone rather than a combative one. The Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero has acknowledged the gravity of the threat, but strongly vowed that the city will resolve the issue.
We will not fight Eskom. We will work with the Minister of Electricity and Energy and the South African Local Government Association to resolve this challenge.
Now, Mayor Morero said that the City Power has already drafted a turnaround strategy to stabilize electricity services and to tackle the debt crisis. The clock, however, is still ticking. If this turnaround strategy and diplomatic talks fail, Eskom's planned disconnections could leave the residents of Johannesburg without power. For a city and a population that have only recently recovered from years of brutal rolling blackouts, the stakes couldn't be higher. Citizens are desperately hoping the mayor's vow translates into action before the lights go out.